Your battle with Nidhogg Shade may beget many an epic ballad. Meteor, rightly so. It was, without a doubt, one of your more epochal victories. Though I must admit, I took greater joy in seeing you emerge from the experience unscathed. And not only for your sake. Had you not been there to aid me, those infernal eyes would still be fused to Estinian's mail. Yet, even with Nidhogg gone, I cannot help but wonder how much of our friend remains. Let us pay a visit to Lucia and beg news of his condition. I see why they were dangerous. I just don't see why throwing them as a pair urgently with no thought off of a bridge was a good solution. Meteor, Master Alphino, my honored friends, as if winning Ray's Felga to our cause were not enough, you took it upon yourselves to rid us of his brood brother. I know not how to thank you. My own contribution was hardly noteworthy. The true saviors of the day were Meteor and Estinian. One triumphed over Nidhogg's Shade through strength of arms, and the other through strength of will. And speaking of Estinian, what news of his recovery? Oh, the Azure Dragoon was conveyed to the infirmary where he now resides under the care of our hospitaller captain. I'm told he has yet to regain consciousness, but as you know, Estinian's mind and body were held hostage for many days. We must be patient and allow the process of healing to begin. In the meantime, you would do well to rest and recover from your own ordeals. But surely, Sir Aymeric is never long from Estinian's bedside, and will send word the moment there are developments. Now, if I have satisfied your concerns, I believe Lord Edmont and his sons are most eager to celebrate your return. Very well, First Commander. Come, Meteor. 'Twould seem that we are awaited at Portant Manor. This has been an emotional journey, and Alphino didn't acknowledge... He said he thanked me for helping pull the eyes off, but I didn't help pull his eye off. And he didn't help pull my eye off. Did he not see that? Is that an echo thing? How were they there? They don't have Ascian souls.
The heroes of the hour return.
We but did our duty, my lord. It was the memories of fallen friends and not our heroism which saw us through at the last.
I gave every ounce of my strength, but mine efforts would have counted for naught had the Warrior of Light not arrived to challenge the Great Worm. As a sworn knight of Ishgard, I had hoped to do more for my city.
Well, we cannot all be heroes, dear brother. Let us put away our pride for a moment and revel in the valiant deeds of our comrade. For your sterling service to Ishgard, we salute you. And while we're on the subject of valiant deeds, I believe I myself have earned some small measure of recognition. Under my watchful command, the ballistas of the Outer Ward struck down a veritable swarm of Dravanian invaders.
My lord's command was certainly watchful. He bravely watched as the siege crews took aim, and continued to watch as countless wyverns met their end. Indeed, the ward's defenders proved so well drilled that my lord had little occasion to stop watching.
There will be time enough to determine who is most deserving of recognition later. Our friends are doubtless weary from their exertions. I had chambers prepared in expectation of your return. You are welcome to retire at your leisure.
I am most grateful for your hospitality, my lord, but I believe I shall pay a visit to the Temple Knight's Infirmary. Pray excuse me.
Our master Alphino has grown. The plight of his stricken brother-in-arms pains him more than his own hurts. In which respect he has come to resemble you, warrior of light. Go then, visit the Azure Dragoon, and grant him what comfort you may.
Alvino has grown a great deal. It's for the amount he's been shown and given in perspective, like, he sometimes lacks proper perspective, but he has grown a lot over this expansion. He was insufferable in ARR. Meteor, my friend. What can I do for the savior of Ishgard? Oh, you seek Master Alphino, do you? Ah, well, he came to relieve me of my vigil a short while ago. When he begged to sit at Estinian's side, I could not well refuse him. Though he would sooner faint than admit it, the boy must be exhausted by Reisvelga's trial and all that followed. Estinian is blessed to have such devoted comrades. My own friendship with Estinian began some 10 years past, shortly after we joined the Temple Knights. I learned his name soon enough, but Estinian barely registered my existence. It was less a fellow recruit and more a shadow which occasionally darkened his path. And so I might have remained, had fate not seen fit to intervene. While out on patrol, our company was set upon by a dragon, and we were the only two to survive. The experience forged a bond between us, and as such life-threatening situations are wont to do. Despite our friendship, he remained an intense and solitary youth, wholly obsessed with claiming vengeance against Nidhogg. Revenge was ever at the forefront of his mind. Revenge for the death of his parents, revenge for his younger brother. I would venture that in Alphino he sees something of his lost sibling. In the ungentle chidings of Estinian, Alphino has found the elder brother he never had. Truth be told, Estinian's tactless observations have saved me from disaster more than once, and I can well understand Alphino's affection for him. He's a friend for whom I would gladly...
Lord Commander, your presence is required at the infirmary.
Is he? Tell them I am on my way. You don't look to be on your way. You look to just be standing here.
Captain Whitecape ordered me to fetch Sir Emmerich with all haste. I know no more than that.
Quickly, Meteor. We must go to him. Why are you still standing here?
Estinian!
He's breathing.
Cease your mewling, boy. It grates my ears.
Forgive me. When I saw you awaken, I could not... It was such a relief. We feared you might never wake up.
Now, Astinian. If Master Alphino thought any less of you, you would still be Nidhogg's plaything. Or dead.
Aye, 'twas but a jest. I thank you, Alphino. And you too, Warrior of Light. Quite how you managed to persuade Hraesvelgr to aid in his brood brother's downfall I cannot imagine. But full glad am I that you did. 'Tis an honor to share the mantle of Azure Dragoon with one such as you.
I, for my part, owe you an apology. When last we met, I did willingly loose an arrow at your heart. Can you forgive me?
There is naught to forgive, Emmerich. You but acted in defense of Ishgard as is your duty. Were you any less single-minded about it, I would not follow you into battle, nor trust you at my back. Besides, I had come to the selfsame conclusion, that I would have to perish for Nidhogg to be stopped. So let us dispense with the hand-wringing. I have heard enough mewling for one day.
Oh!
The tendrils of Nidhogg's foul presence bound up every fiber of my being, usurping my senses, but I yet retained some trace of awareness. The worm's mind was as a vast and tumultuous sea. Endlessly its black waters churned, his grief and despair at Ratatoska's murder never calming, never receding. Driven by this surging current came wave upon wave of unrelenting rancor. It was the very image of my own heart. There I saw the dark reflection of the hatred I felt after Nidhogg slew my family, when no path remained save vengeance against dragonkind. Neither one of us had a choice. But I was blessed with something Nidhogg was not. Comrades and teachers to console and admonish me. Had I not had them to gainsay my obsession, it would surely have consumed me as Nidhogg's did him, and we would have been in all respects alike. Though his shade is banished, his spirit scattered upon the sea of clouds, I feel no joy at his passing. Where once I craved vengeance, I now crave rest. Lord Commander, my hunt is at an end. I would lay down the mantle of Azure Dragoon.
My friend.
He has tired himself with too many words. I doubt not that he will make a full recovery, but he must be allowed some few days of quiet.
I too must see my path to its end. Sleep well, my friend.
Following the battle with Nidhogg on the Steps of Faith, Sir Emeric called an assembly that he might make his final proclamation as acting head of state. 'Twas there, with one decree, that the 1,000-year rule of the archbishops was ended, paving the way for a new republic. The governance of Ishgard would now be placed in the hands of high and lowborn alike, their ranks represented by the newly founded House of Lords and House of Commons. Church was separated from state. The foundation for change had been carefully laid, and the reforms proposed by Ishgard's new government passed into law without incident. His duty done, Emeric de Burrell gladly stepped down from the Archbishop's dais, only to be raised unto the highest seat in the House of Lords. Though he strove at first to refuse this honor, the unexpectedly strident voice of the Count de Durandare left him little choice but to accept. And so it was that the winds of gentle revolution came to stir. Prominent among the many honored guests at Sir Emeric's investiture were the ambassadors of Dragonkind, a fitting symbol of Ishgard's newfound peace. The people looked on in awe as he soared through the heavens on Dragonback, and by their cheers did they hail him an azure dragoon for a new age. Thus were the notes of the dragon song rewritten, the din of war giving way to a rising litany of peace and hope.
From the Memoirs of Count Edmond de Forton, Heaven's Word. I was gazing out at the sea of clouds in an all too rare moment of idleness when I chanced to behold a certain hero wending his way towards the city on Dragonback. Welcome home, Meteor. Happy to be here. No, 'twas no grave matter that moved me to greet you in person. Between you and me, I merely sought respite from the pressures of office. No sooner do I surrender my role as temporary head of state than I am burdened with a position of more permanent responsibility. I fancy that it echoes in some small measure the way you must feel when your improbable feats of heroism are rewarded with still more impossible challenges. The myth which guided our society for generations lies in tatters. Am I then to be scorned for building upon the system of nobility that I once sought to tear down? And what strange jest is it that places me at its pinnacle, an archbishop's bastard at the head of the House of Lords? It's an elected position. But these are questions for me to answer. It is not in a man's nature to change overnight. This I learned through painful experience, and it was this hard lesson which convinced me to take the path which we now follow. Even as we rebuild the bridge between man and dragon, so must we reimagine Ishgard, one carefully placed stone at a time. We must remember that it is not for us that we lay this groundwork, but for the men and women that our children will become. May their towers rise proudly from the fundament of our legacy. Fair enough. I hear word from Captain Whitecape that Estinian has vanished from his sick room. His willfulness survives undiminished. Should you ever happen upon our most unmannerly friend on your travels, pray assure him that I shall keep Ishgard safe until he deigns to come home. Absolutely. Thank you, Meteor. And please convey my warmest regards to Master Alphino. You spoke with Sir Emmerich. Oh, I do not envy him in his new position. Ishgard has chosen a new road, but one littered with the detritus of 1,000 years of broken faith. Yet, though her people may stumble from time to time, I know of none better than Sir Emmerich to lead the march of progress. As for us, there remains the small matter of ushering in a new dawn and shadow of inscrutable Asian machinations, a seemingly endless procession of primals, but we too must walk our chosen path, no matter how treacherous the footing. Thanks, bud. In the wake of Ishgard's governmental reform, the new airship routes have been sanctioned. You may now travel to a selection of distant locales from the landing in Ishgard. Significant. Oh, God. Thank you, planets. Nay, you will need not remain there. We shall rendezvous at the usual place. All is proceeding as expected, then. Aye, there is naught to concern us, aside from one overly curious mouse. Run, girl.
This way.
Him again. It is of no moment. They will play their parts, and we will play ours. And thus did grey mist give ways to azure skies, man and dragon rise above, voices joined in song, but beneath shrouded bows, beyond the scope of light, shadow stirs.